Grandma says my adopted son isn't real family. Was I wrong to leave Christmas dinner? My name is Mark. I'm 34 years old, and I have always loved Christmas. Growing up, it was the highlight of the year, full of family, food, and traditions. My mom, 61, has always hosted, and I've looked forward to one day bringing my own family to the festivities. This year, it finally happened. My wife, Jamie, 36, and I recently adopted our son, Ben, 8 years old. It was his first Christmas as an official part of the family, and we were beyond excited to share the day with everyone. We arrived at my mom's house with gifts and our usual holiday cheer. Ben was a little nervous meeting everyone, but he quickly warmed up. My mom greeted us warmly and even gave Ben a big hug, which I took as a good sign. Throughout the day, Ben played with his cousins and seemed to be having a great time. I felt so proud seeing him included in the chaos of kids tearing through presents and adults laughing over eggnog. After dinner, I overheard a conversation that made my blood run cold. I was in the kitchen grabbing dessert when I heard my mom talking to my aunt in the next room. She said, "It's great that Mark and Jamie are happy, but you know Ben's not really their child. He's not really family. Blood is what makes family, after all." I froze. My mom's words echoed in my head, and I felt a surge of anger and heartbreak. I turned to see if Ben had heard. He was sitting nearby on the couch, pretending to play with his new toy but clearly listening. His little face was a mix of confusion and sadness, and my heart broke for him. I walked straight into the living room and confronted my mom. I asked her, "How could you say something like that? Do you realize Ben heard you?" She looked startled but quickly brushed it off. "Oh, it's just an opinion," she said. "I didn't mean for him to hear. You're overreacting." Overreacting? My son, who has already faced so much rejection and loss in his young life, just heard his grandmother say he wasn't truly part of the family. I told her it was a cruel and unacceptable thing to say, and that she owed Ben an apology. Instead, she doubled down. "I'm just being honest. Family is about shared history and blood ties. You can't expect everyone to see him the same way you do." At that point, I'd had enough. I told Jamie to grab our coats, and we got ready to leave. My mom started panicking and accused me of ruining Christmas over a harmless comment. Other family members tried to smooth things over, saying my mom didn't mean it and that we shouldn't leave. But I couldn't stay in a house where my son was made to feel like he didn't belong. The car ride home was quiet. Ben stared out the window, clutching the toy he'd been playing with earlier. I could tell he was holding back tears, and it shattered me. When we got home, I sat down with Ben and explained that what Grandma said was wrong and that he is 100% part of our family. He nodded but stayed quiet, and I could tell her words had hurt him deeply. Jamie and I spent the rest of the evening trying to cheer him up, but the magic of the day was gone. The next morning, I woke up to several missed calls and texts from family members. My mom had apparently gone on a tirade about how we had disrespected her and ruined Christmas. She'd told everyone that we overreacted to an innocent comment and embarrassed her in front of the family. A few relatives chimed in, saying I should have stayed and dealt with it privately. One even suggested that by leaving, I had taught Ben to run away from problems instead of solving them. But there were others who supported us. My sister Anna, 29, called to say she was horrified by what Mom had said and that she fully understood why we left. "If anyone ever said something like that about my kids, I'd lose it," she told me. Hearing that validation meant a lot, but it didn't erase the damage done. Over the next few days, the fallout continued. My mom refused to apologize, sticking to her claim that she had only been stating a fact. She told me I was being too sensitive and that I needed to stop expecting everyone to see things your way. I've always known my mom could be opinionated, but this felt like more than just stubbornness. It felt like a complete disregard for my son's feelings and for the family Jamie and I are building. Jamie suggested we go low contact with my mom for a while, and I'm seriously considering it. She's been my rock through all of this, constantly reassuring me that we did the right thing. "Ben is our priority," she said. "If someone can't accept that, they don't deserve to be in our lives. Still, I can't help but feel conflicted. Christmas is supposed to be about family, forgiveness, and togetherness. Part of me wonders if I should have stayed and tried to use the moment as a teaching opportunity, to show Ben how to handle conflict with grace. Maybe I could have pulled my mom aside, away from everyone else, and explained how hurtful her words were. But another part of me knows that staying would have sent the wrong message. It would have shown Ben that it's okay to tolerate disrespect, and that's not a lesson I ever want him to learn. Since that day, Ben hasn't brought up what my mom said, but I've noticed little changes in him. He's been more hesitant around new people and has asked a lot of questions about what it means to be adopted. Jamie and I have done our best to reassure him that he is loved, wanted, and fully part of our family. But I hate that this incident planted a seed of doubt in his mind. As for my mom, I'm not sure where we go from here. I've told her that I need time and space to process everything, but she keeps pushing for reconciliation without taking accountability. She's even suggested that we come over for a do-over Christmas dinner, as if pretending nothing happened will make it all go away. So, am I the asshole for leaving Christmas dinner after my mom said my adopted son isn't really family? Should I have handled things differently, or was walking away the best thing I could do for Ben?